Dime una y otra vez lo que te gusta. Enséñame qué es lo que tú dices que me asusta.
Took a look at that scoreboard. Thanks to the power of that magical Treyarch matchmaking, it is 5 against 3 in this game. And then later on, somebody else is going to join in, and they put him on the other team and make him 6-3 against us. Hello, how are you? It is I, Jackson Betta, and I'm bringing you my first Call of Duty Black Ops 3 gameplay commentary. And it's not actually a commentary, it's a story. If you've seen the title of the video, it's a little story here. I was a young lad, about 14. I just finished my first year of high school, and I just started attracting the attention of the opposite sex. So I wanted things, I wanted new clothes, I wanted new sneakers. So I went to my father and I asked him for these things. My father said to me, well, son, I tell you what I want. I want you to get a job so that way you can get whatever you want, because I'm not paying for it. And that ended all that rather immediately. So I was hanging out at my father's house, my boy Ace's house, I should say. I was hanging out at Ace's house and I was telling him what happened. And he said, hey, Jackson, let me show you this. So he goes into his father's closet and he pulls out this big metal box, and it's a projector. And on this projector, he's got these reel-to-reel films of dirty movies. Now, these movies didn't have any sound. You had to show it against the wall. The picture wasn't really all that great, but it didn't matter, man. It was porn, it was free, and we were watching it. And then at that moment, bing, a light came on in my head. It sounded just like that too. Bing! A light came on in my head and it said, you know what? We can make some money off this if we charge people to watch these dirty movies. We can make a killing this summer. So sure enough, that's what we did. We set up at my house and we were showing the movies. First time we let everyone in for free just for them to see it. Afterwards, we were charging them $2. And it was a hit. First it started with like 5 dudes in the house, and then it was 10. It got to the point, man, where we had to start showing them in movie showings, and we had to show them from like 1 in the afternoon to 3 in the afternoon, and then from 3 in the afternoon to about 5 in the evening, and then we had to shut it down because, our respective parents would be home by like 6, 7 o'clock at night. But the point was, we were getting we started even earlier than that. It started about 10 o'clock in the morning. Be surprised how many people wake up early to watch some dirty movies. Anyway, we're getting like 30 people a showing, man, and we're charging them like $2, $3 a piece to get into these movies. Actually, it was $3 a piece to get in. Every time they came in, it was $3 a piece. So you figure out the math, man. Yo, that's $45 for me and Ace per showing. 3 showings a day. Yo, that's $270 we're splitting between us. So we're doing great, man. We're making a killing. We got new clothes. We're taking the ladies out on the weekends. We're hanging out with our friends. We always got money. We got new bikes. Our haircuts were always fresh and tight. We were looking good, man. It was a great summer. My father noticed the influx of money I had, and he said, Jackson, where you getting this extra money from? And I said, well, Dad, I took your advice. I went and I didn't actually get a job, but I've been going around, to the local stores and asking them if they need help. I do a little odd jobs, and they pay me. So my father looked at me and said, all right, well, that's pretty good. I like the initiative you're showing there, Jackson. Good work, son. Everything was going great until one day there was this guy. Now, I'll never forget his name, man. His name was William. And he used to come to every showing of the movie. He was always like the first guy to show up. But one day he got a little too exuberant and he was in the bathroom a little longer than he needed to be. So Ace, not being the most patient guy in the world, kicks in the bathroom door and catches William in the bathroom doing something he shouldn't have really been doing in my bathroom. Ace grabs him, flings the guy out of my house. The pants are still around the guy's ankles, man, throws him out ass over heels. Guy goes flying out into the hallway and Ace is like, get the fuck out of here. Kicks him out of the house. Well, William didn't take that too well. So William decides to wait for my father to come off the train late at night. And I'm telling you, my father didn't get off the train. Wednesdays and Friday nights, my father worked overtime. He didn't get home till 9 o'clock, which means he didn't get off the train till about 9:30 at night. And William was waiting for him. So on the way home, William told my father what Ace and I were doing. Father comes home to me that night and he says, Jackson, anything you want to tell me? How's those jobs working out for you? And I said, it's working out great, Dad. Thanks for asking. Everything's great. So, next day, we're showing the movies, and just as we cue up the projector, we got a crowd in the house. There's about 20, 30 dudes in the house. I hear something at the door. I hear a key coming into the lock. And in comes Ace's father and my father. Dudes scatter out of there, man. They scatter out of fear because my father was not a man to be toyed with. Neither was Ace's father, and they scatter out of there. So Ace's father takes me into one room and my father takes Ace into another room. And I'm wondering what's going on here. And then I hear the screams of terror coming from my man Ace. And I see Ace's father rolling up his sleeves. And he says to me, Jackson, I really like you, kid. But your father was so mad, he was afraid he was going to kill you if he beat you. So I'm going to do it for him. And I proceeded to take one of the worst ass whoopings of my life. A few years later, actually, it wasn't even a few years later, I was an adult at this time. My father looked back at me, he said, hey, that little thing you did with the dirty movies? And I said, yeah, Dad. He said, Jackson, I didn't like the way you did it, but I really liked your intuitive there. I liked your ambition there. You're a smart kid. Anyway, if you enjoyed this story, hit that like button. If you want to see more, subscribe. And remember, folks, life is not a game, but it is always fun to have games in your life. The moral of the story? Get rich or die trying. Later.